my people. And if you're watching live, checking us out on YouTube, or listening on your favorite podcast provider, you are most definitely my people. Welcome to another episode of Botched Spots and Chair Shots. And by golly, are we glad to be back after a little bit of a hiatus. I am still your host, a chef by trade, no mark by choice. I am the Will Gray. And joining me tonight, we have a panel of plethora of passionate people. It's alliteration.
Did you write that down before you said it?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's not bad, actually.
You should write that down.
I have a notebook. I will in just a second. First and foremost, he is the host of Kings of the Rings podcast and one of the minds behind Wrestle Addict Radio. It's our boy, King Ricky Rose. Ricky, how are you, sir?
I am happy to be here doing this show and this podcast. This is the only wrestling podcast I am doing this week. I canceled my show this week because there's a game that has been waiting to come out for the last 11 years that I will be using all of my time this entire week.
I love you, Ricky!
Tuesday when midnight hits on Tuesday, it's over for my existence in the social media world. Not gonna lie. So,
I'm looking forward to 2K25. Who's the first team you're going to play in your dynasty?
Whoa. This isn't a 2K game.
Or not 2K, sorry.
NCAA
25.
EA Sports College Football
EA
25.
Sports, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the first team you're playing in? Yeah.
Oh, obviously, it's the University of Florida. Go Gators.
Suck a dick.
We've been through this already, Jax.
Well,
We've been
now as we close another episode of Botched Spots.
Gators.
I'm going to move on right past that. Go Balls. It's directly above me in the screens and topping me in all things life in most cases. He is the patron saint of podcasting. He is the number one purveyor of podcasts where you watch people doing the nasty on the internet. He is the host of the number one horror and number one wrestling podcasts on those places, Getting Off and Smackin at Raw. But most importantly, I get a call-in friend. Mateo, the Warden Matt Ritter, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. I want to say hi to Dad Hack because he specifically in the chat was all excited to see me. Also, Timmy. Hi, Timmy. Love you, Timmy. I will not be playing NCAA. I've never played an NCAA game. College sports are not for me. College sports games are absolutely not for me. But I'm happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here.
Dad had mentioning App State against Michigan. I have a friend who's a diehard Michigan fan, and he won't even talk about App State with me. To this day.
Dad Hat is my brother from another mother, and he is a proud alum of App State, so he will make it a point to reference App State in Michigan.
They might be my online dynasty team, to be completely honest with you.
What's up, Shadow? If I were to get a copy, the first team I'd play in Dynasty would be the Blue Raiders, MTSU. Go to the alma mater.
That would be a terrible choice. I can't imagine how awful they would be.
Listen, it's called Dynasty for a reason. You build that team up. Make them a national powerhouse. You got 30 years to figure it out.
Man, there's a cheat code to this. Just use the national powerhouse. You just use the power, you son of a bitch.
I'm sorry, my fault, Jack. I mean the Ohio State. That's how you say it,
right? Matt, you got something going on later tonight, right?
I do. I don't know if you guys are Game of Thrones fans or specifically House of the Dragon because that's back, but we do a little review about an hour after the show ends called #ThemDragons. I texted them because the last two episodes they actually did on Monday due to scheduling conflicts to see if it's actually going to happen, and I was told yes. So yes, tonight, 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern, over at Creation World on YouTube, youtube.com/Creation World, twitch.tv/Creation World, #ThemDragons. Come listen to us review the latest episode of House of the Dragon, which I'll have to watch as soon as I get off this.
Bingo. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Directly beside me on your screen, if Al is my right hand, this man is my left. He is the host of Botched Spots and Chair Shots, Nerdy News, NXT on Tap, Wolfpack Podcast, Boyfriend Time, and pretty much anywhere else on Ribbit City Radio or Off the Top Media. It's everybody's favorite Ginger Ninja, Jaxpo. Jax, how are you?
I'm doing good. Yes, Matt.
Will said if Allison's his right hand, and you're his left. Will, are you right or left-handed?
I'm ambidextrous, actually.
I
go both ways. I think,
Don't lie.
you know.
I'm safe to know I'm not the hand that wipes his ass because
My co-host goes both ways too. So,
but what's new and exciting? How are you?
I'm doing good.
There's no segue from.
There's no segue to that. I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here.
I'm glad you're here. And rounding out this panel, perched upon the Iron Throne in the Boss Bitches corner, she is the Beyonce to my Hova, the Bonnie to my Clyde. She is the brains behind Rivet City Radio. It's the Boss Bitch Al. Al, it's been 2.5 weeks since we streamed. Outside of interviews, we haven't done a Botched Spots and Chair Shots episode in almost a month. It's the longest hiatus we've taken in almost 4 years. Are you excited to be back to work tonight?
Woo! From our new studio.
Yeah, we did move.
Wow.
One room to the other, sort of, but yeah.
Yeah, moved is a relative term. We swapped rooms.
Yeah.
I feel like we should craft you an actual Iron Throne.
Seriously.
Just get a bunch of dildos, spray paint them silver, attach them to the back, build them up.
You won't know the difference, to be honest with you.
You won't.
You wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
I think we could do it. We can use pool noodles and spray paint them silver and black and tarnish them up and put.
Make them Raider colors. Do it. Yes, please. Silver,
well, I mean, most of them are Valerian
Raiders.
Swords. The Raiders, Bo?
Bitch, Brock Bowers is on the Raiders.
What is a Brock Bowers?
Brock Bowers.
Fucking kick you in the dick.
Listen. Brock Bowers is cool with me now. He went to the right team.
Yeah, see, finally, me and Ricky are on the same page. Don't ruin our moment.
He went to the right team. That's exactly why I like Brock Bowers now. So.
The boss bitch has spoken.
No more sports, man. It's like, fuck this. No.
Y'all go on Mike's show and talk about
Listen, I didn't say anything. Allison said it. Allison said that's red zone talk. Stop giving away red zone talk.
I'm waiting for my invite to red zone talk. I'll do it.
The youngest is fixated on the show right now. He just keeps waving whenever I thank you, Ken.
Allison, just so you know, if you ever need some help, they're always here. You know what you got to do. So
I know.
Get sick of them.
Brock Bowers was the best tight end in college. I'm not even reading it. No more foosball talk. That's it. We made it through the intros. So far, so good. Before I get going, and I ask the question of questions, I have to appease the algorithmic gods. If you're watching on twitch.tv/Rivet City Radio, hi, how are you? I hope everything is great. You can remember to comment and subscribe. All that's free. We'll get to your subscription later, though. If you're watching on youtube.com/Rivet City Radio, it is free to do everything, like and comment and subscribe and, clicking bells and doing things. Matt, what's all that do?
It boosts the algorithm and helps us find new listeners.
That's right, it does. Flipping the script on you. Nobody's watching us on X tonight because Elon says to go live, you have to pay for Twitter Premium, and I'm no chump. I'm not paying for that shit. Fuck you, Elon Musk.
That happened to me yesterday, too.
Yeah. If you're watching on Apple Podcast, Botched Spots and Share Shots, or Spotify, Botched Spots and Share Shots, we appreciate the hell out of that. We are still ranked in the top 200 for wrestling shows. Fretzmania, wow, what a cast of characters here tonight. You don't even know. I'm about to ask the question, Mr. Fretz, that's going to get us
right
ladies, gentlemen, what has you pissed off for greatness? It's been a month since I've got to ask anybody this question. I have a couple from the Peanut Gallery. I know all 4 of you are going to answer. I have one, and that's it. Matt, your hand went awful quick, brother. What has you pissed off for greatness in pro wrestling, sir?
Not a lot of people are going to agree with me on this, and I'm fine with that. There are 2 things that I am. One of those is the host of the #1 wrestling podcast on place where you can find people having sex on the internet. The other is the world's biggest Matt Riddle hater. To the point to where there was a faction in NXT called MSK that no one knew what it stood for, and I said it stood for Matt Shitty Kids because Matt Riddle was, And then they fired one guy, and Wesley was fine. He was there. He was doing his thing. They reunited them and then brought in a third on my fucking NXT. You can send Wesley to TNA. I've been watching TNA. You can do that over there. Keep that faction and his friends the fuck off my TV.
I mean, it's not 3 MSK, so it's 2 that are MSK and 3 are Rascals.
Yeah, no, but they brought another friend. They brought another shitty kid.
Well, yeah, because that's the Rascals.
Yeah, no, they could have them on TNA. Put them over there. Don't put them on NXT.
There's 4
That's what's got
Rascals.
me
You know
pissed
that,
off.
right?
Yeah, you forgot Myron Reed, but
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
4 Rascals. They didn't add like.
who do you hate more? Do you hate Matt Riddle more or love The Undertaker more?
Well,
Is
that's a
your
good
hate for Matt
question.
Riddle outweigh the amount of love you have for the Taker?
My hate for Matt Riddle outweighs the love I have for Undertaker.
That's real hate right there, folks. That's real wrestling hate.
That's some hate right there. That's real fucking heat.
Big hate.
I love the Rascals. I used to agree with you. Way back in the day, Mateo, one of my very first appearance on Smackin at Raw
What the
was
fuck
me.
is Myron Reed?
Wow.
He's a rascal.
Agreed.
He's an OG
Wow.
rascal.
Who the fuck is Myron Reed?
Really fucking good, actually.
My very first
Pretty fucking
appearance
talented.
on Smackin at Raw, me and Vince like moderately got into it, and it was the coming of what mine and Vince's relationship in pro wrestling would be, was because I said that MSK was the WWE's version of the Young Bucks, and that was around the time I started calling them Anime DX.
They played DX once.
So yeah, I like MSK now. I like the Rascals a lot more, but my tastes in wrestling have changed drastically from 2021.
Listen, this is nothing against their in-ring ability. This isn't even against like the treehouse segments. It's just the fact that they've associated themselves with the one man that I hate the most, and they are all guilty by proxy. So get the fuck off my NXT. It's my favorite show.
That's
Go
real
to
hate. I
TNA.
understand.
Let him
I
do
understand
it.
the hate.
I'm cool.
He is going to TNA, I believe.
Yeah,
No,
I
do it.
guarantee he'll
Go
be
do
there.
all of that on TNA. Keep it off NXT.
Fred says Myron Reed is an indie guy. He thinks we sponsored one of his matches, Ricky. Shout out Wrestle Addicts.
That is not a thought. That is actually true. So Wrestle Addict Radio did, this is a fun fact for everybody. Wrestle Addict Radio, we sponsored, I want to say it was like Beyond or something. It was somewhere up in the Northeast. I want to say Beyond, I'm not sure. We sponsored a bunch of matches. One of those matches was Myron Reed. The other match included Danny Garcia.
Ooh,
that's great.
Facing somebody who was leaving to go to NXT and later became him, Christian Casanova, now known as Carmelo Hayes. Kings of the Rings podcast specifically sponsored his final match on the weekend.
That's dope.
That's fancy.
Hell yeah. We've done some work up that way as well. We sponsored, we've done a lot of work with Invictus Pro Wrestling. Their base, we did the Mini Saints of Ridgefield Park, which was an event a few years ago. We were a keynote sponsor for that event. So our logo was front and center for the entire thing. It was a
Limitless. Thank you, Fred. It was Limitless Wrestling. Sorry.
Love Limitless. Those guys are awesome. All right. Mateo went. That means one of the three of you have to go now.
I will go. What has me pissed off for greatness, specifically in the last week, more so in the last, 4 or 5 days, Stephanie Vaquer is going to NXT and loaded up that women's roster again. I mean, and now that we have TNA and NXT in a working partnership, have an all women's pay-per-view with just those rosters, and I will have a ball. Also, add to the fact that there's a rumor that they're about to sign someone out of Australia, New Zealand, named Delta, who I haven't seen much of, but I've seen a quick couple of minutes of her in a highlight reel. She looks pretty legit too. This is a scary roster of women. Scary roster of women.
Scary talented.
Yeah, scary talented. And let's not forget the fact that the women stole the show at Money in the Bank with that ladder match too, as well. The future of wrestling has been female for a while, but now it's at a fever pitch. So I am very excited for what she can do. She already debuted in Mexico City last night with the quickness and a WWE PR storm with her behind her. She's had a great month, to be completely honest with you.
Shout out to BBL Bailey.
That was fantastic.
That was a great line. Yeah. AEW can keep washed up Sasha. That's
I mean, the woman that put Stephanie Vaquer on a bigger platform now.
That's right. She's a star maker.
I mean,
Hey, you got that saying.
Cam says that's Rich. He's the host of the Boom on Wednesday nights. He is very familiar with one Mercedes Monet. Bo. Ow.
Okay.
Also, Ricky, I love the shit out of Stephanie, by the way. I think she's a fantastic talent.
I like her horns.
Yeah, everything about her screams WWE superstar. She's ready to rock for sure.
She's gorgeous and talented.
Yeah.
Fret's talked about it. She had a match with Isla Dawn, who I also absolutely love.
She did have a
Mexico
match,
City.
yeah. I haven't watched it, but I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at what I saw.
You're up.
All right, I'm up. Fuck you, Christopher Daniels. Let me just start off hard there. All right.
Okay.
For years.
The higher power do to you.
Listen, the higher power is about to get. I might have to find him, give him a good old visit to Dick Kick City. How are you going to strip the Bang Bang Gang of their titles? Okay, Freebird rule, bitches. It's been around since the 70s. When did the Freebirds debut, Will?
They debuted in the 70s. You're right.
It's been around since the 70s. I spoke too quick there.
You were right.
Yeah, shockingly. But like, why? I don't. Is it like it's not? It can't be just a WWE thing. Like other companies have done the Freebird rule before.
I don't know any other company outside of WWE that has like actively said we're using the Freebird rule.
Well, they need to.
PF
Hayes is pissed right now.
I will specifically make that my duty and thank tag teams. That's a great article. Freebird article.
But now he's got and it's yes, Jay White got injured. Woo-de-boo-de-boo. But Juice is back from an injury. That could have been a perfect just slot there. You need to do something with the Bang Bang Gang. Like you're putting the Bullet Club name on it. You need to do something with it big. And making Christian Cage and his this whatever they're called.
Patriarchy.
The patriarchy, the unified AEW trios tag team or whatever. Like what the just you could have wrote it off in a storyline. I'm pretty sure Jay White would have went, I got one more before I got to have surgery or whatever he's injured for.
Yeah.
Made it lickety split and just have it done in a match. You didn't have to strip them of it to put the Bang Bang Gang versus them.
To earn the belts back.
Yeah. You could have just said, all right, Jay White, he's done it in Japan before, has wrestled injured. He probably said, I got one more. Let's do it. And just, you could have been limit time in the ring because it's a fucking trios match. And they could have just pinned them instead of stripping them just to put Juice in Jay's spot. It just makes dumbass sense.
Let me ask you guys a question then, the panel. Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
Yes, Matt.
Well, so they got stripped of trios titles, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because you keep saying the Freebird rule, and last I checked, the Freebird rule relates to tag team titles with a group of 3 men or more, not necessarily trios titles.
Not to cut you off, the Freebird rule has been unanimously used in reference when a set of tag titles or trios titles have been used.
Or trios.
Oh, I did not know trios was included.
I have to verify that again. I just wrote down, look up the Freebird article because I want to do the research to find out tag teams that have either A, used it or B, used it successfully in multiple defenses. Meaning me and Ricky defended the belts one night, but then also Bo and Matt defended the belts one night. You see what I mean? But it's
we
the
would
same
be a fun tag team.
Yeah, I think that that would be a party no matter what. But
putting me and Bo in a tag team is basically just doing Viking Raiders.
Essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
And me and Ricky are the Dudley Boys. Let's just be real.
Testify.
Yeah, pretty much.
Testify, yes.
All right.
I'll sell like Devon too.
Oh yeah, and I'll cuss like Bully Ray.
Can I get you in the back of the head every time you stutter?
Yes. What about a 30-day rule? How do you guys feel about that then? If a tag team is injured or somebody's injured, give them 30 days to see if he can come back and defend it and then work it into the story versus just taking the belts away. How do you guys feel about having a 30-day rule in wrestling for situations like this?
If his prognosis is for he won't be cleared for more than 30 days, what's the issue with stripping them as soon as you get the prognosis, though? If you know he's not going to be able to make that 30 days as per doctor's orders, then you can strip him day of as soon as he's got his papers.
Suspension of disbelief, Mateo. Kayfabe.
It's not real anymore.
Still real to me.
I don't know.
Which is something that I think someone was pissed off for greatness on TikTok about.
I do. I have a kayfabe pissed off for greatness. Get the tables. That's right, AJ.
Only if he spells my name right, but that's another thing. I don't know with this 30-day thing. Like, in order to suspend disbelief, you would have to really keep that injury or the severity of that injury under wraps in this day and age. There's too many people who are to know too many things, who are quote unquote insiders, or ruin their rating scale every other week. You know, you really got to keep it under wraps if you're going to try to institute this 30-day rule, which if you're going to do it for the tag teams, you have to do it for everybody. And it's just not going to fly, I don't think, in any wrestling organization.
Well said.
I mean, Wheeler Yuta's only been the pure champion for like 10 years because he was injured.
Also very true.
Is Christopher Daniels in charge of ROH or just
Nobody
AEW?
needs to be.
He's actually one of the backstage producers and writers for Ring of Honor.
So we're talking on-screen kayfabe. Like,
you felt kayfabe up when you started that whole injury thing.
Someone's in charge of ROH. This is news to me. I am very perplexed by this.
I have a story about ROH that I'm not going to tell on air just yet.
So it's not a TV deal. All right.
Al, round us out before I come to the pictures from the peanut gallery.
I don't know if I'm about to steal your thunder on my pissed off for greatness, but I'm gonna like take a little bit of it for you. Don't expect people to work for free.
There.
That's all.
All right.
Okay.
Value somebody's work and skills and don't just abuse them.
I didn't know what you were talking about until you said that, and I was like, oh, I know what I'm pissed off for greatness for. So at the end of the day, when it boils down to it, I know that I've only been doing this for 4 short years. And then those 4 years, I would say that I have done fairly well, not based off of a follower count, but actual ability and things I've accomplished in both a writing and journalism platform, but also as a producer inside the wrestling business. After 4 years of doing it, I'm worth a hell of a lot more than just not getting a call. This has happened far too often in independent wrestling, where you will be regularly booked and then people just disappear and you just get ghosted. So yeah, like I might be green as grass, but I'm worth of a hell of a lot more than a hot dog and a fucking handshake. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I completely forgot.
I also want to add in that just because somebody isn't a talent or a worker in the ring doesn't make them any less valuable. The indies are falling apart because there's too much of an old school mentality and they refuse to let anybody else in to help them. At least in the South, for sure.
And I'm a big proprietor of independent wrestling. Go ahead, Mateo.
Ricky, am I doing this right? Sideberg? Is that's
correct. That is Sideberg.
Okay,
yes.
Cool.
Thanks for still listening.
Absolutely. 2 things. One, I will work for a hot dog handshake, which is not a hot dog and a handshake. It's where you take the hot. Anyway,
I understand.
Yes, exactly. See, there we go.
Yeah.
I will work for a hot dog handshake.
Some people call it ski.
You also, will constantly ask people, is a hot dog a sandwich? And I was thinking about this, and the hot dog is the meat, right?
Yes.
It is also
Yes.
the sandwich, but it is the meat. So theoretically, a hot dog is not a sandwich because a hot dog is still a hot dog without the bun and the condiment. It is still a hot dog, whether it is in sandwich form or not. It will always be a hot dog. So then it is not a hot dog.
So
Wow.
if you
Wow.
put
Not
it
a
in- wait, hold on. If you put it in a bun, does it become a hot dog sandwich now?
I would say yes on that logic.
Because
I
the
would call it a hot dog
definition of a
yeah.
sandwich is 2 slices of bread with meat in between it. So now
Peanut butter and jelly is just peanut butter and jelly till you put it on bread.
Yeah, it becomes
Yes,
a peanut
that's
butter
correct.
jelly
Yes.
sandwich.
So
I
it's a
think we
hot dog
solved the
sandwich
age-old
that is then
question.
shorted to hot
To
dog.
hot
Well,
dog.
hot dog is
Yes.
the meat.
Okay, cool.
I'm okay with this logic, actually. I think
Yeah.
we've solved the age-old question.
I'm talking. I'm at peace with
I'm
this.
using this.
A bun is only one slice of bread in the same vein that a submarine sandwich is only one slice of bread, though. So in that sense, then a submarine sandwich wouldn't be a sandwich either, though.
You can also have an open face sandwich, which
Yeah.
uses one slice of bread.
Using the 2 slices
Ah,
needed for a sandwich thing. Like,
Subway doesn't cut their
Yeah,
bread.
that's
all
the
way
point of
down.
a submarine sandwich. is it's a
Sandwich.
piece of bread long time. Fuck wrestling, you guys. It's
Yeah.
food and it's football. So
Thanks,
good
Katie.
job, Matt. So then a hot dog is a sub or gyro. Yeah,
Which
but a
is still a
submarine
sandwich.
sandwich.
Jesus.
All right. So yeah, don't be a dick, gatekeeper. Let's do these from the Peanut Gallery. Dad Hat says, pissed off for greatness. The Owen Hart tournament and it being a cash grab for TK. Guys, lady, do we think the Owen Hart tournament is a cash grab?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Like when it first did it, I was like, "Oh, this is just them and Martha Hart shitting on WWE, and her taking a really, really long time to get through a promo." And then they continued it, and it kind of just doesn't, to my opinion, lead to anything. Like they're okay Bret Hart looking belts, like it's cool and all, but like it just like in the kayfabe world of non-kayfabe AEW really doesn't mean anything. It's just a thing that kind of just happens. And you like it happens, it's there, and then we're kind of going with it. I mean, I know I think they added like a stipulation of who wins it goes on the face so and so, but still, like it's just a cash grab. Like Owen Hart never even wrestled in AEW, you know, and he didn't. Surprise, surprise. So it just seems like
can somebody check Cage Match for that, please?
yeah, please, double check. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So it just seems very just. It's always been off-putting for me that we're using his name in a company that he never worked for to do what? I know that I think they do some charitable work and like raise money for his foundation and whatnot, but still, it's like I don't know. It's always been weird for me with that.
Everything that wrestling companies do is a fucking cash grab. When they brought the Wyatt Six out and they were selling merch, you saw all of the AEW fans. I don't understand why they're doing this, and they're just trying to capitalize off Bray's passing and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, absolutely. They're not going to put anything on TV that doesn't make money. That is the entire point of creating a product for TV. So yes, it is a cash
capitalism.
grab. Everything that they put on TV is a cash grab. Whether there is some sort of reason behind honoring it, it's there to make money. 100%. Brody Lee, they were releasing shoes for him, cash grab. It may be in his memory, still a cash grab. The Owen, cash grab. Continuing the Wyatt Six without Bray Wyatt, cash grab. But having Martha there, wanting to honor her husband's legacy in a company that she would not, because she wouldn't let WWE do it, validates it. Bo being part of the Wyatt Six and honoring his brother validates it. Brody's wife and -1 being a part of AEW, if they still are, or at least signing off on it, validates it because it is honor of their loved one that passed away. But yes, it is a cash grab. Everything that you see on TV is a fucking cash grab. It is all there to make money. Whether it's good at it or not is neither here nor there. because not everything makes money. Chris Jericho. But yeah.
The only thing that would have got the Owen Hart Memorial Tournament any prestige to me would be allowing Jeff Jarrett to win it.
And they dropped that ball.
No, hold on. No, hear me out, Ricky.
Let's see. I want to hear this.
Give me, other than like JR, maybe some backstage people, everyone that's won the Owen Hart Cup has had no attachment whatsoever to Owen Hart. You had the chance to have one of his tag team partner and closest confidants and friends put prestige on that belt and have be able to honor his friend. And I think Tony Khan fucked it just dumb. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, woo, Jeff Jarrett would have got a world title. He wouldn't have won. Whoop-de-doo. But still, I just think that'd be a great thank you. Here's your flowers to Jeff Jarrett one more time.
Counterpoint, Jeff Jarrett, Ric Flair, Matt Hardy, and Jeff Hardy should not be wrestling or on AEW TV anymore, period.
I don't think they should, but
and move the fuck on.
Yeah.
I think the Hardys are already gone.
Well, they're on TNA. Sorry.
No, they're going for the TNA. They're going for the TNA titles.
Yeah, no, Matt's back in TNA doing cinematic shit and having bad matches with his wife.
They never put that.
But she's real pretty.
She's very pretty. She looks fantastic in her gear.
She does.
Flair is no longer with AEW. The sponsorship for Woo Energy is running out, so is his time.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Yeah, he's peddling weed now. It's awesome.
He was only there for Sting stuff anyway.
Pretty much.
He wasn't actually signed.
Let's knock out this last pissed off for greatness. This one I'm curious about. This one comes from Phoenix King over on TikTok. The use of social media. One post is about your real life, and then the next is about your character. How am I expected to suspend my disbelief when you don't even protect your character and that storyline?
Very easily.
Gentlemen, kayfabe. Is it dead?
Yes.
Yes and no. Well, we have a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Allison.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I guess it depends on the wrestler. Some do, some don't.
Will and I have a very similar philosophy about professional wrestling, sports entertainment, what it is and what it isn't, especially when it comes to WWE, that it is a TV show. We see actors promote a show that they work on and also tweet about their personal lives. And we don't say, oh my God, them tweeting about their personal lives is ruining the show that I am watching them in. Like if Sydney Sweeney tweets that she's dating somebody, it doesn't ruin the fact that whatever the fuck you watched in Euphoria still fucking happened. We know it's a TV show. We've been told it's, from the day Vince came out and did the Attitude Era speech and said, we make movies, which they make bad movies, but they also make TV. They make a fucking TV drama.
Listen, the Marine franchise had how many? Had how many movies? Like 7, right?
7 or 8.
It's okay.
Is kayfabe dead? Yes. Can you still watch a show and realize that these are basically extremely athletic actors putting on a show that you can still watch and be entertained by the way you could any other TV show on TV? Absolutely. 100%. I have no issue enjoying, even though most people don't, the Liv and Dom stuff, knowing that Dominic Mysterio is married, that Rhea Ripley is also married, and that none of this is actually real. It doesn't fuck it up for me in any way, shape, or form. I can still watch the product and be like, okay, this is fun, and get involved and get into it.
All right, so one point. I wouldn't call them actors. They are still athletes. I'm not saying that they do a sport. I'm saying they're athletes in the sense that they are extremely athletic, more athletic than probably all 4 of us on this show combined.
I agree.
Yeah, I would still call them athletes with acting skills to them. In that case, and I think somebody said it. I think Dad had said it. Wrestling is theater. History of wrestling has always been theater. It has always relied on the ability of the performer and the booker to get you to suspend disbelief for a very, very long time. And it's been pretty well known since the Carney days that none of this shit is really real. I think we as a society and just as wrestling fans got into the habit of wanting to know know what's going on behind the curtain, and we ruined our own happiness. We ruined it. We ruined it all the time. You know, people are like, oh, I know I have somebody who said, like, you know, I can't get into the Dom and Liv stuff because I know Dom is married. Yes, we all know that, but don't you realize you are watching a television show? There's a WWE, and to an extent AEW, is no different than Game of Thrones, than House of Dragons, than the Fallout show, which is a fantastic show, by the way, than anything you see on TV. These are all staged performances. You know, we've known this before the steroid trial. We've known this for a very, very long time. You know, I'm not going to go into a movie theater to watch a Marvel movie, Deadpool coming out soon, and be like, oh my God, I can't wait to go to California and see Deadpool when he's like fucking around with Wolverine. You know, I know this isn't real. I know what's on my screen isn't always real. Sometimes I don't even know if I'm real, if you want to get existential with it. You know? So like, you have to be able, as somebody who is a patron of the pro wrestling world, to understand that what you're seeing something that you like, that you're entertained by, and in order to fully entertain yourself, you have to be able to suspend your own disbelief and get fully engrossed into the product. What you may see on Twitter may be the real person, may be the fake person, how they use the tweet, and what's going on in the storyline. I know a lot of WWE performers will sometimes use their WWE handle to push a storyline. Liv and Dom have been doing it fantastically. Rhea has been for a while too. But you take somebody like The Rock, who will sometimes use it for kayfabe, and sometimes use it for half of the 70,000 companies that he runs or is managing or merging with Disney for. You know, so you have to be able to understand that it's been theater. It's always been theater. It's theater we enjoy. So do not ruin your own happiness by trying to outsmart yourself.
That's like, it's people that want all the inside stuff. Sometimes it's like fucking wanting to go see a movie, but sitting in the parking lot watching a spoiler review. It just don't fucking make sense. And then you get pissed. Then it doesn't have like you get pissed. You're like, well, you fucked that up for yourself. I can't read, so I don't know what's going on Twitter.
You're better off sometimes. You're better off, to be honest with you.
I like the pictures.
Pictures are great. Meme culture's amazing.
Boobies.
Ricky also said suspend your own disbelief, and that's the key part there. If you can't do it, that's on you. That's not on them. You can't expect them to cater to an individual's ability to realize that what they're watching isn't real and be able to put real life events aside just to keep you invested. Like that's a you problem, not a them problem.
Dude, that's the fucking clip right there. That's the pissed off for greatness clip that's going to go on TikTok this week. That's a little rant right there.
Also, fuck you to the asshole that posted Sika's funeral.
Big,
What?
Big fuck you.
Yeah, that's a big fucking disgrace of privacy. You're a piece of shit.
It was bad enough that the family put a statement out that was like, we thought the people that were at that funeral should have known better. But with that being said, if you have videos of our family in those very intimate settings, we would rather you not share those videos on your social media.
They literally have a video of Roman and Jimmy and some of the others like carrying his fucking casket
and posted it on their Twitter and
Instagram. Lowering it into the ground.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, Jesus.
Shit.
Like somebody on TikTok literally posted the entire funeral from start to finish.
It's ridiculous. Like, that is wild that somebody would do that. All right. This one that made me sick. I saw that. It says Nicole, Dad Hat.